What's up, everyone? Welcome to the 500 subscribe. Holy shit. 1,000? You're telling me 1,000 people cared enough to subscribe to this cute little channel of mine? Well, I'm in actual shock the fact that my channel is blown up this way. So I guess instead of the 500 subscriber special, this is the 1,000 subscriber special Q&A. For those of you who don't know, I made a community post where I asked I said, Q&A time. Ask me anything, and I got some questions. So to everybody who posted a question, thank you. And to those who didn't, oh well, you missed your chance. Now before we start, I'm tired of being in this fucking black void all the time. So how about a change of scenery? There we go. That's much better now. All right. Our first question is from Corn8871. Hi, hope you're doing well and congrats on the almost 1,000 subscribers by the time of my asking, 925 to be precise. Thank you so much. And I am doing well, thank you for asking. And we already hit 1,000 subs. Now, what are some different things that you like aside from Deltarune? Other games, books, TV series, etc.? Well, in terms of other video games, obviously Undertale, but I love, Gary's Mod, Red Dead Redemption 2, BeamNG Drive. I mean that's the thing. I'm not really a gamer per se. I'm not playing the latest and greatest games like everyone else. I just play Gmod more than anything really. It's probably technically my favorite game, but I guess I could throw up a picture of my Steam library. That's about it when it comes to games really. Books? Well, here's a picture of my library, and you know it's not performative because I don't have a billion books. Like I've actually read all these books. TV series? I don't know. I don't really watch TV. I mean, I've watched the shit everyone else is watching. I've seen Breaking Bad and Family Guy, so yeah. Aside from that, that's pretty much it. Our next question is from Crump Scrums. As someone who's very invested in Crocker Fan 08's Deltarune take, I've got a couple questions regarding it. We'll ask away. What do you think of the Shadow Gang? Susie, Jane, Nix, and the Soul. Not an official name, just my name for them. Well, first off, I fucking love that name. If I ever talk about this series again, I'm absolutely gonna use the Shadow Gang. But what do I think of them? Well, I like them, of course. And I think it's kind of cool to see Susie kind of put in a very different position. Like, obviously, she started off, being with the fun gang, with someone she kind of, bullied at first, but eventually befriended, and someone she didn't know or necessarily like at first, and of course, befriended. But now she has to deal with, a complete stranger, Jane, and then Nyx, who's just a fucking asshole. She doesn't like him. But then now she also has to deal with the Soul. So it's kind of interesting dynamics. It'll be interesting to see just how their relationships develop over time. So what did you think of the Rune Spawn battle? I didn't include it in the video, just as a way so I encourage people to go watch it directly for themselves, but I quite like it. I love it when they make their own battle sequences and animations and stuff like that and bullet patterns and stuff, so of course I like it. What characters are you expecting to appear in later videos and what role do you think they'll play? Personally, I'm very interested in seeing how Chris will be handled. I mean, I'm sure we'll see everyone that we're familiar with, but I mean, pretty much everyone we know are Darkners, and they've all been, turned to stone. So it'll be interesting to see if there's any Darkners that somehow survive, maybe Lancer. And it will be very interesting to see Chris encounter, what Susie will say to him. But I just think back to the first video when it seemed like Chris shed a tear, so maybe, I'm guessing there's more to the situation than what we know. Who Boy YT asks, would you add Ralze to the blunt rotation? Bro, yes, of course, why wouldn't I? Sir Gummieth asks, are you going to cover ARG/unfictions for things other than Deltarune? Maybe. Like, I would totally do an Undertale one, but I mean, when it comes to other video games, I think I would do games that obviously I'm familiar with. Like, I wouldn't do one about Resident Evil or something. I never played those games. I don't know anything about them, so I wouldn't cover non-fiction that was about that game series. But I like talking about Deltarune, though, more than anything. Plus, if you think about it, unfictions are to Deltarune what AUs were to Undertale, 10 years ago. Everyone had an Undertale AU, and now everyone has a Deltarune unfiction. But me personally, I mean, I guess they're kind of the same, but I prefer the unfictions more than anything, just because it stays with the game. It's just like the game, but different, rather than like a what if scenario. Henboy asks, will you ever make your own ARG about Deltarune? I would like to see what's rattling around in your brain. I mean, shit, just watch my videos. Every little edit that I make pretty much comes from my noggin. Like, I watch through it and I'm like, this would be funny. Let me add this. Let me add a hamster disappearing really quickly. I think that'll be fucking funny. But will I ever make my own ARG? No, I won't. I don't have the time or the the knowledge to do that. But I guess kind of relates to that. I've always had an idea for like a fan game / chapter where it would just essentially be a dark found like in the hospital. So it'd just be a dark world themed after like medical shit and whatnot. And of course I'd make references to the medical themed gore grind that I listen to from time to time because that's how I am. In case you don't know, I love to reference the music that I love. So what's with the eye thing? Well, it's awesome, bro. Whose Scimitar 8005 asks, unlimited bacon but no video games, or unlimited games but no games? See, now I feel like the people who reference this, they don't know what it's really from. I mean, I think that one Minecraft YouTuber, Jay Schlatt, I think he said it before, but even then he got it from somewhere else. So for the people who actually know what this is from, I'm gonna put this hat on real quick. All right, so to answer your question, I'm going with unlimited bacon but no video games for pretty obvious reasons. Gaten Charlingi 214 asks, do you prefer fan stories that explore routes that can be explored by the author, or those that explore more unlikely paths regarding Deltarune? I've read this question like several times. It kind of stumps me a bit, just the way it's worded. So I'm guessing this person is asking if I prefer stories that explore like the author exploring a different route, or maybe just like the game itself just being presented without an author. I, uh, I guess I prefer fan stories that explore routes that could be explored by the author. Because like with Open Heart, I think it's cool how like the narrator is also kind of like, you know, a character in the story. We're able to react to things at the same time with them. So I guess the author exploring something that's happening to the game, I guess that's kind of what I like. Hump Scrums again asks, have you ever thought of making your own Undertale / Deltarune unfic? Whether you do or don't, what ideas do you have for one, if any? Well, like I already said in the previous one, I'm not going to make one. I don't have the time or knowledge to, and you know, fan game, shit like that. I wish I could make a fan game, but again, I don't have the time or the knowledge to. So if anyone wants to fucking steal my idea, go right ahead. Ivory L, I think, asks, will you do a Forest Weird Route video? Now, I believe this person is talking about, and I got the name right now, Northern Blight, and I've ultimately decided, yes, I will. Just because so many people have been asking me to, and it's like, I can't think of anything else to talk about for the channel. So it's like, you know what? This is like one of my favorite unfictions. People keep blabbering to me to talk about it, so fuck it, I will. You're welcome, by the way. The real Mario Brian asks, what would be the strangest thing to experience and it happens naturally without any pre-planned prep? I feel like it would be like seeing something supernatural, but like you don't expect it. Like obviously if you're like in a creepy abandoned house, you're gonna expect it. But like if you're like, I don't know, if you're like walking around your neighborhood at night or something and you see like a fucking specter in the distance, that would be fucked up. But I think the ultimate strangest thing to experience without any pre-planned prep would be like seeing a UFO. Like again, if you're just out walking around your neighborhood and you see like a UFO, like not plain lights, but like clearly like something's up, something's weird about it. You know, that would kind of mess with you a bit. Or especially if you see like a very obvious like shape, very alien craft sort of shape, and it like fucking flies off at a million miles an hour. That would be strange. M01RSC3N3 asks, what are your favorite bands / genres? Now, you know when someone asks you that one question that's like about the thing that you have the most arcane knowledge in, and it's like, well, sit down because I want to blabber. Well, guess what? That's exactly what's gonna happen, because this is the question that sets me off. So, all right. So when it comes to favorite bands, I would say like my top two. I'd say like my top 3 bands ever: Metallica, King Diamond, and Cannibal Corpse, I would say. But yeah, like, because my favorite band is always usually going between Metallica and King Diamond, but I would say they're pretty even Steven for me. But you know, I also love, you know, Sodom, Munenwerfer, Candlemass, Morbid Angel, Hemorrhage, Immolation, Mortician, Evil Army, Vital Remains, Brodekin, Slayer, Deeds of Flesh, General Surgery, Deicide, Incantation, Suffocation, Carcass, Goat Lord, Sadistic Intent, Dissection, Regurgitation, and many, many more. And if you want an idea of kind of the more underground stuff that I listen to, you can take a look in my playlist. There's one called Goated Music. It's got all the underrated gems. And there's some, I mean, there's like, you know, stuff from like King Diamond and Death, shit like that. But there's also some, you know, actual underground shit in there. So if you want to get into that stuff, just take a peek through that playlist. When it comes to genres, I guess like my ultimate favorite one is just kind of death metal, but more specifically old school death metal. Like I love that early to mid 90s death metal scooped mid sound. It's just my favorite. Like I think my favorite death metal album ever, I would say it's Eaten Back to Life. Again, it's just like kind of perfect for me. Also, just anything extreme metal, you know. So you got your black metals, your thrash metals, your some heavy metal, you know, your grinds, your gore grinds, shit like that. Anything extreme is what I love. So, and also, you know, I'm a real fan of music because I collect CDs. Cassettes, and vinyls. And I will continue to collect. Rom996 asks, why did you choose that picture as your profile picture / avatar? Well, because I remember making my first video, I wanted kind of like an in-between thing, and I think that was my profile picture before, so I decided to just use that. And I guess the reason why I chose that as my profile picture was because I don't know, I couldn't really think of anything else, and I thought that one would be cool because I do have a folder on my computer where I just any image that I like, I save it onto there, and that one specifically is in a well, it's in a specific folder, and because of that, I won't gatekeep what it is from anymore. Well, I'll give you a hint. It's from a King Diamond album. So with that knowledge, you can now go off and find it for yourself. So it just looks cool. What can I say? Poner Aqui asks, "What's your favorite fruit and why?" Bro, pineapple. I fucking love pineapple, dude. It's my fucking favorite ever. Like, you know those plastic bowls you get at like Vaughn's that's just full of pineapple chunks? I can slash have chew through an entire bowl of them. Does my mouth bleed and hurt afterwards? Yes. Is it worth it? Yes. Communal Pie, who lives in Boulder City, Nevada, asks, "Would you rather die yesterday or die tomorrow?" Well, I'd rather die yesterday because you can't go back in time. You can't go back to yesterday, so it's impossible to die yesterday, meaning that I get to live still, so I choose that one. Whatever Bob1234 asks, "What gender do you think Ralsei is?" Well, he's a guy. He's a male, a boy. So, I don't know. To me, there's not much arguing there. And lastly, whatever Bob1234 again asks, "Do you think that in the Undertale slash Deltarune community you can step up and take Shay's spot?" And you can see my little reply thing down there because I was really joking with my girlfriend a few days ago, being like, just imagining myself standing in front of like an angry crowd. You know, the crowd's pissed off at Shay. I'm just standing on a balcony. I'm like, "Attention, everyone. I am declaring myself the new Shay. I don't want your money. I just want your subs and your views." But ultimately, that's not for me to decide. Obviously, it'd be stupid if I actually did that. Now, like, if the Council of Trent got together and was like, "Mud Juggernaut is now the new Shay," I'll just be like, "Look, I'm honored, but are you sure I'm fit for the job? I'm sure there's plenty of other Undertale Deltarune people out there who are much more fit for the job. So could I step up and take Shay's spot? I don't know. That's for you, the people, to decide, not me." And that's all the questions I got. I wish I got more, but hey, I'm glad at least one person said something. So again, thank you so much for all the support, all these views that I get. Fucking 1,000 subscribers is like, that's a big ass milestone. And now again, it doesn't seem like much, but when you're a small underground creator, 1,000 is like hitting 1,000,000,000 subs. So I can't say thank you enough, honestly. So now I will promise this because it is actually gonna happen. My next video will be about the Northern Blight unfiction, because again, that one's like arguably one of my favorites ever. So I'll get cracking on that. It'll be out when it's out. I won't promise a release date. I'll just say that it'll be out when it's out. So until now.